Hey guys, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams Cards. My video tonight is going to be on a set that I've talked about kind of a lot recently. I was on Mike Monahan's podcast and we talked about kind of our first set growing up and that we opened packs from. And then on Two Guys, One Hobby, we had Chris from Missouri on and again kind of got into our youth a little bit. And then was on the show with Theo and John and James and Pepino Man had the Four Collectors, and was on again with Chris and John Keating and Mike Canadian Cars and talking about the 70s when we all grew up. So I'm not a set collector except for this set. It's my only binder and it's my only set that I have, and it's not completely complete, but pretty close. I think I need 30 cards to finish this. Excuse me. And a lot of them are these checklist cards. And I just can't bring myself to buy these. I know they're part of the set and I know they're cards, but I don't know. I don't want to spend money on those. So if anyone wants to donate me a bunch of those, feel free to finish my set. So as I've said many times, I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. In 1976, I was 9 years old, and in my neighborhood, it didn't matter if it was boys or girls or the age difference. We all played together, and I have a brother that's a year younger than me, and so he was hanging out in that group too. And the kid across the street, so when I was a senior, I think he was a freshman. But it's just how it was back then, unlike my son who only hangs out with people in his class. So I was riding my bicycle over there, which, we'd always do it. Back then we didn't have the internet, the video games. We just went outside and played. And I remember my mom would yell my name, Don, and I'm like, what? And she'd yell, you know what? Which always meant come in for dinner. But we were riding bikes over there, and I wiped out, and I think I tore my knee up on like a tree stump or something, and ended up needing 12 stitches. My dad had to come over and pick me up because even at 9 years old, I was a fairly big kid and the woman couldn't pick me up. And I remember being laid up with this bandage on my leg on like a lawn chair, the long ones, whatever you call those. And she brought me over a 1976 pack of cello cards, a cello pack of cards. Those were the very first cards I owned or had ever seen, and caught the bug from then. So a lot of these cards in this book are actually cards that I pulled from packs in 76. I'm going to show you some. They're not in great shape. Some are. At some of the nationals I've had to fill in for cards I didn't have. And I was going to upgrade a bunch of these cards, but then I was like, you know what? Why? Like, these are the cards from your childhood. There's no need to upgrade them, because I'm also going to go and show you my graded Hall of Fame run from this set. And so like I said, it's the checklist cards, and there are some Hall of Famers that I have them all, but I just don't have them in the set. And so I'll go through some of the variations of what was in this set. As you can see here, they had the rookie cards, and none of these guys made the Hall of Fame. There's only one rookie Hall of Fame card in this set, and we'll show that later. And the set started off with the record breakers, and Rennie still holds this record today. And I can obviously tell what cards I bought later because they look like cards I would buy now. They also had the father-son combinations, and I picked these two particular ones because Bob and Buddy actually had kids that played in the major league, so that's 3 generations of players. Here's an example of a card I pulled. Look at the corners on it. Nice crease right here, little whatever that is. Not going to upgrade this card because, again, from my set. Something I didn't realize until just a few minutes ago when I was pulling these cards, and it's the beauty of this hobby. You learn something new or learn about, because I don't know the reason here. But if you look at the Giants card here, no manager, and the Indians card has a manager. So the only guess I have is at the time they must have let go of their manager and didn't have a particular one. But if anyone knows the actual reason, let me know. I know I pulled this from a pack because, as I've said before on some of these cards, I put the beautiful D on it. Got a couple more here with the D. I mean, I must have done it all on the same day because they all look like they're with the same marker. And not every card has the D on it. And as you can see the creases here? We actually played games with this. My brother and I would take a little piece of paper, wad it up, and smack the ball, and then we'd like shoot them to first base. And I was under the belief that, hey, I knew back then to save my cards because I knew they'd be worth something someday. I just didn't know you had to have them in good shape. Also, I did what you were supposed to do. I marked which players I had. People wouldn't dare do that today. The famous Kurt Bevacqua card is in that set. And I, just from watching some of those guys' videos on the 300 Mike Payne cards, I believe this is one of them. Here's a good question. Who did Kurt beat in the finals? It was like a bracket. I guess each team had a player. A couple of Hall of Famers were in it. Bly Levin, George Brett, Johnny Bench, not a Hall of Famer, but Bill Madlock, Gary Carter. So, but none of those players were in the finals with Kurt. So just curious if anyone knows that, or you can just cheat and look at the back of the card. Let's see here. Chris actually talked about this in our last video. If we could go back, watch some games, and the Red Sox in the Reds. So that's from the championship for each league back in, so this would have been the 75 season. And then the World Series right here with the Reds and the Red Sox. Then you had the Hall of Famers, and Adam's Splendid Sports Cards just did a cool video. He's getting these, I think, in nines. And he mentioned this card here. Love the Honus Wagner. And again, this is a later purchase because it's in really good shape. And this one has a big crease. Can't really see it, but it's there. And it's got the famous D. So I know, again, pulled from a pack. And then they had the traded. Everyone knows this card. That could possibly be a Mike Payne 300. I'm not sure. But everyone brings that card up. Then a couple of Hall of Famers here. Got Jim Cott and Fergie Jenkins. And then I just bought a set of the Pirates just to have, even though I've got them in the binder. These all came as a pack. Not a pack, but you know, so someone had, whatever you call it, a set of them. And just the memories of looking at these cards and pulling them from packs. You know, not my favorite looking set. You know, maybe not even the favorite of some of my players, but I'll never forget, you know, my mom sliding a pack of these in our suitcase for my brother and I, or in our Easter basket or our stocking at Christmas. There'd always be a pack of cards, and it always came from my mom, not my dad, which is kind of funny. But I think moms look after their sons sometimes a little more than mom does, or dad does. So next I'm going to show you, back on the display case, the 76 Topps Hall of Fame run that I have. And if I were to do it again, I wouldn't do what I did. It makes no sense. I had to have them all in SGC, the new grade. And originally it was 8 or better, but then I lowered it to 7 or better. And I have one Hall of Famer over there that's not graded that I got in. At this point, I have to send it to SGC. But I don't do that with any of my other sets. I don't know why I did with that. They're all a blend of PSA, SGC, BVG. Grades are all over the place. But the two display cases you see behind me there, they're kind of random cards, where all my other display cases are a particular set of Hall of Famers. And I built these with adjustable shelves so I could fit the larger cards. If you can see on the bottom, whoop, wrong side here. You can kind of see there the Perez Steel autographs and some of the other ones. And the idea of these shelves were just to put anything on them and to rotate them. So I have not built a display case for the 76 Topps because I'm basically out of room. I could probably squeeze another display case up, but I decided to put it up here for a while. And we're going to go over and take a look at them and share it with you. All right, guys, so there's the full 1976 Topps run of Hall of Famers. So let's get a little closer here. So there's the recently passed Brooks Robinson. And again, you're going to get glare. This whole row is the guys we have lost. Gary Carter, Willie Stargell. Try doing it on an angle, maybe. Joe Morgan, Willie McCovey. I showed you in my trash tank, Aaron, as a kid. There's a nice copy. Tom Seaver, Jim Hunter, Lou Brock. What I always liked about this card with Willie Hernandez in the back, I don't think I'm going to be able to zoom in like that, but on his sleeve, try it this way. No, you can't tell, but there's a number 21 patch, and those were worn in, I guess, the 73 season, right after Clemente passed away. So it's a 76 card. This picture was taken in 1973. You got Phil Niekro and Don Sutton, the last two guys in the set that are no longer with us. Here's the rookie card I was talking about, Dennis Eckersley. Got Pudge, Schmidt, Parker. One of my all-time favorite cards right here. Again, I didn't mention this either, but they have the All-Stars. Stars. I always thought this picture with the dust going up, that somebody just scored. He doesn't have the ball, and he looks upset that they scored. Two former Pirates right there, Rich Gossage and Burt Blyleven. Robin Yount. And here you got Tony Perez, Ted Simmons. There's Rice with the rookie cup. Raleigh Fingers, Carlton. Tony Oliva, Reggie Jackson. Palmer, Fergie Jenkins. Just found out that he played for the Harlem Globetrotters. That's pretty cool. Carew, again with the All-Star card. Very hard card to find centered. I don't even know if there's a 10 grade. Not that I care, but just know it's a little fact out there. Nolan Ryan and Yaz. Then here's the card that I don't have graded, that I eventually will. Bought this right before the year he was elected to get into the Hall on the Veterans Committee. I was 100% convinced he was going to get in. He did not, but I think he will someday. I think my man here, Parker, will get in. At least I hope he does. And I could add Steve Garvey's card. Might be a few other guys that could potentially get in. And yeah, I know he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame, but he's a Hall of Fame player, even though he's not in. So guys, that's why I collect that set, and there they are all displayed on the shelf, along with some other cards. So just the set that brings me back to my childhood. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.